Welcome back. It has been 10 years since Prince passed away, and this afternoon we're looking back at one of the biggest parts of his legacy, of course, Purple Rain. Back in 1984, many people did not expect the low-budget film out of Minnesota to become a massive hit, but it of course did. Here's Chris Harapsky.
On August 3rd, 1983, Prince and the Revolution played a charity gig at First Avenue, introducing a never-before-heard song called Purple Rain. 3 songs from this live performance were used on the album.
Purple rain, purple rain.
To be made into a movie that would rock the world.
Purple rain, purple rain.
The idea of the film came first.
Revolution keyboardist Matt Fink remembers Prince's plan.
First he put it like, so how do you feel about possibly doing a movie as a group? He asked me this first. I said, well, that's interesting.
Riding the success of the album 1999, this idea of a film loosely based on Prince's own story was a gamble.
First of all, nobody thought it was going to be a big deal. If people thought that Purple Rain was going to be Purple Rain, no, nobody knew that it was going to be Purple Rain.
The film's assistant director, Craig Rice, recalls problems from the start.
The producers had never produced before, the director had never directed before, so there was a lot of sort of tension and issues.
Perhaps none bigger than the Minnesota cold.
First of all, it was November and it was freezing. So a lot of the exterior stuff, Prince had a scuba diving suit underneath his clothes to keep him warm.
Well, for starters, you have to purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
And even when we did the Apollonia, we had to have skin divers under the water when she jumped in, just in case she got the hypothermia, they could get her out. And we had a warming tent right off.
It was that cold?
Oh yeah, it was freezing.
She cold plunged?
Oh yeah, she did. She did it. I gotta give her credit for that. She was a pro.
How can you do that to me?
After 7 weeks in the cold, filming wrapped. 6 months later, the album is released. A month after that, the film debuts.
His Royal Badness,
And Prince's pet project,
Prince,
paid off.
I think it was elated. I think that everybody was excited, and it just blew up.
It teaches you that the big wigs at the top don't always know what's going to fly.
Well, over the course of the last year, the brilliant lights that blazed Xcel Energy Center are off the St. Paul Arena. And at least one of those letters, though, is now in someone's front yard in Lino Lakes. We caught up with the hockey fan who paid a hefty sum of $21,000 for the piece of St. Paul history. But was the investment worth it? Morgan Wolf's story will help you decide.
Never seen anything like this.
Something new in Lino Lakes has neighbors curious.
I think it adds some personality to the neighborhood, though. So I think it's really cool.
X marks the spot where hockey and history collide.
Basically, anybody in the state of Minnesota and probably even Wisconsin knows exactly what it is if you show it to somebody.
When Jonathan Dusing
Like, I have to get this.
saw the iconic X from the Xcel Energy sign was being auctioned off for charity, he couldn't resist.
So I knew I wanted to do something special with it. I definitely wanted to put it on display at some point. I was telling my friends about it, and they're like, oh, I saw that on social media.
Jonathan made some upgrades, and for every goal scored, it becomes a neighborhood celebration.
Put it at the exact angles of the X, so it looks like it's just shooting off the top of the X.
The fog and fire had so much use over the weekend that they actually ran out of gas.
That's a good problem to have, so I'm excited about that.
The fire and fog look like magic, but it was hard work plugging new life back into this landmark.
It's maybe 100 pounds, but it's like the most awkward shape to ever carry. So it always takes like 3 or 4 people to move it around.
Minnesota loyalty runs deep, especially when facing the team that was taken from them.
It's incredibly important, I think, to get rid of the stars.
Well, the X was up and running for last night's playoff game against Dallas. And here's the moment everything lit up for the Wild's first goal, live streamed for anyone to watch from afar. That's funny. Well, Game 3 of the Timberwolves Nuggets playoff series will be extra special for one Lakeville family. Jennifer Hoff shows you the surprise of a lifetime for a 7-year-old boy and his grandfather.
There it is.
For the Bolios, basketball is a family affair.
Get the rebound quick and shoot.
And Cal
There you go.
is one of the youngest fans.
He's been getting into it pretty quickly.
So Yao Ming, Kyrie Irving.
Those are some old players, aren't they?
Grandpa is the oldest,
Die hard, every sport.
teaching him everything he needs to know about the Timberwolves as they take on the Nuggets in their next playoff run.
The last time we went, you were watching the whole time and knowing what was going on, weren't you? Yep.
A multi-generational tradition
Priceless.
meant to last a lifetime.
It's a pretty tight bond, right?
From making memories with the team superstar
Who is that?
Thanks, Grandpa.
to receiving his rookie card,
They'll keep them in their packs, okay?
You got Anthony Edwards, dude?
capped off with a surprise
Yeah.
this 7-year-old won't soon forget.
Would you like to go to your first Timberwolves playoff game this Thursday?
Yeah.
You think so? Do you think your mom would let you stay up that late to go?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then let's do that, okay?
Minnesota sports may have its fair share of heartbreak,
It definitely could be frustrating.
but for these fans, it can be just as heartwarming, too.
And I know it's going to be a great time, and it'll be memorable, and we'll never forget it.
In Lakeville, Jennifer Hoff,
Oh, get in there. There you go.
KARE 11 News.
All right, Timberwolves, now you got to get those boys a win. They tell us that both their favorite player is Anthony Edwards, with Kevin Garnett a close second. And he's back now, of course. Stick with us. More news and weather coming up after the break.